So we have gotten comments like this. I think that I'm pretty sure that we answered that question of what the problem was, but we want to go into a little more detail and explain to you because when all of this happened, when the AC wasn't working, the back ACs. Now, a lot of people have said, you have to have the generator on. That's why it's not working. We knew that. We knew we had to have the generator on. The generator, what would happen is we would get driving down the road, and we had, of course, the dash air going. And then it would start to feel warm, and then we'd turn the generator on, go back, turn on the ACs. I would come back up, I'd sit down, we'd drive on down the road a little ways, like a few miles, and the generator would still run, but the ACs would just quit. So that's what was, I guess, very perplexing for everybody we talked to, because they're like, if the generator's running, it's not shutting off. I don't understand why the ACs are shutting off.
Particularly when we were stationary, the generator would drive the ACs for hours on end. It was never a problem when we were stationary.
Right. So when I was going over all of this on the phone with Camping World, with that tech who was awesome, he said, he's like checking, I'm reading things to him on the panel, we're going over everything. Well, is this working? Is that? Can you check all of your outlets? Can you do this? Can you do that? And he's like doing all of this over the phone, not getting paid. And he's the one that was the first. He said, I think it could be the transfer switch. So now we have that in our head. Actually, I was also on a Facebook page and in a Facebook group for Class A's, I think, and newbies. And someone on there also said, that sounds like it could be a transfer switch. So it was in our heads, but we didn't know anything. So I will let Brian tell the story now of what happened. We went to... Go ahead.
So we were communicating all this back to the dealer that we purchased it from, and through the salesperson. The salesperson connected me to their technician there, and I explained to him what the technicians from Camping World told us, and he of course actually made me walk him through the whole thing as well. But he agreed that it was likely the transfer switch, and so he made arrangements. He actually tried to make arrangements for us to get to a technician in Utah, but the timing wasn't right, and we needed to keep moving. So he managed to find a technician just outside of Topeka, Kansas, and so we drove there, and we actually got there late on Friday. Again, we're so blessed meeting all these really nice people, professionals in the business, because we didn't get to his location till 5:15 on a Friday, but he took the time to go down. He took the transfer switch apart. He tested every single connection on the transfer switch because he wanted to figure out what was wrong. He was thinking that perhaps he could fix the transfer switch, but he couldn't. He couldn't actually figure out. He said, I know this transfer switch is the problem. That's the issue, or he thinks it's the issue, but he couldn't figure out why. He said, I don't like to replace a part that I can't figure out why it's not working, but I'm going to go ahead and replace this part, and hopefully that'll solve the problem. He ordered the part Saturday morning, got it Monday. So we drove there. We got there about noon on Monday, and he took the old transfer switch out, put the new transfer switch in, and it worked great. That turned out to solve the problem.
Yeah, we have been good to go ever since. No problems at all with that.
And no cash out of our pocket. The other dealer took care of it over the phone with him. It wasn't like I had nothing to do with it. It's all done, and no skin off our nose.
Yeah, so the dealer we bought it from paid for that. The other thing is the wiper blades. So Brian communicated with and by the way, the wiper blades we've had no problem with. Been in the rain, no issues at all ever since Camping World fixed them. And Brian replaced the blades on them. And he communicated with the inspection company, right? And told them, he's like, what the heck? Why wouldn't you look at the wiper blades? Why wouldn't you know that it was the transfer switch? Well, apparently they don't drive, at least in Florida, they don't drive the RVs. They just check these things, and you wouldn't have known that there was anything wrong with the ACs unless you drove down the road, because must have been some sort of a short. Now, this is me talking out of my you know what, but there must have been a short, and when we would bounce down the road, it would bounce off, right? Would you say something
like that?
maybe like that? I don't know. Again,
but I'm sure he checked the ACs on the generator sitting in the dealership lot, and they work fine, because they work fine for us.
they work
as well.
fantastic. So anyway, he was very apologetic about the wiper blades, but they wear body cam, and he's like, you can see on the body cam, he checked the wipers. I don't really believe that. I mean, you didn't see the body cam.
No, he didn't send it to me. He just said, let me take care of the bill at
So the inspection company took care of the Camping World bill, which was $300 and something, and that was to fix the wipers, and also to reprogram the AC unit that was programmed.
The diagnostic fee, the reprogramming, the wiper.
So they covered that. So we didn't pay for any of that. So we feel actually really happy about that they took it. And from this point forward, we feel like anything that happens with the RV, it's on us. Like, I think that the dealer,
working now. So
everything's working
going
wonderful.
Forward, that's on us.
And we are well aware that we will have all sorts of problems, and we will deal with them as they come, and we're having a blast. So
any other questions, send them our way. We
please,
appreciate the
questions, recommendations. We
and
love
the
every
tips.
bit of it.
Yeah, thanks for the people that are giving us the tips out there too. We appreciate that.
For sure. We love it and we appreciate it, and we're just about caught up on the older videos that we took to
We took them like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
like
a couple weeks ago. But there have been some people that have said,
they were disappointed.
I don't like that these are old videos. So we're almost caught up on those. I'll probably just post the rest of them tomorrow to get those done so that we can start with our everyday lives and sharing these campgrounds. And we want to do a video about the campgrounds that we've stayed at so far, because some have been great and some have been not so great. But anyway, we appreciate you guys, and thank you for listening to us, and I hope this didn't ramble too much. But anyway, have a great evening. Bye.